Shifu has given an overview of the Heart Sutra. Now let us look at each line in the Heart Sutra in detail. First of all, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. What is Bodhisattva? Let us look at the word itself. Bodhi means awakening, or it's a word associated with enlightenment, awakening. So Bodhi, to awake, to be awakened. Sattva is generally a person, basically a person. So Bodhisattva is a person who is enlightened. That is one way to interpret this word. Or Bodhisattva is someone who enlightens others, a person who awakens others. That's Bodhisattva. It is an important concept in Mahayana Buddhism. Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva ideal means the ideal that a person should, not should, but a person may choose to devote his or her life to the liberation, the enlightening of other sentient beings forever. That is the purpose for that person. Now, what is your purpose in life? What is meaningful for you to accomplish in your life? Do you know? Have you thought about it? Do you have an answer? So the Bodhisattva, we can look at it as a role model for us. The Bodhisattva is a role model. The Bodhisattva is very compassionate, cares about all people, and wishes to use their wisdom to help every person possible. Now, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara is a particular Bodhisattva. There are many Bodhisattvas in Buddhism. He is particularly known as the Bodhisattva of compassion. He's noted especially for his compassion. Now, Avalokiteshvara, the word itself, of course, is a Sanskrit word, and it has actually two translations. One is called Guan Shi Yin in Chinese, one who hears or perceives, one who perceives the cries of the world, meaning that the Bodhisattva is listening to the cries of help from any person, anybody in this world. Actually, it's not only human beings, maybe even animals who cry for help. So the Bodhisattva actively listens for cries of help and do whatever he can to help. So that's what Guan Shi Yin means. Now, it is to be noted that the translation uses the term perceiving the cries of the world. So we can say something about just perceiving versus just hearing. So we hear people talking all the time, but do we perceive what they really trying to say? So the Bodhisattva perceives, not just hears, but perceives. So perceiving has a sense of truly understand what the person wants or what the person needs. Now, in the sutra opening verse, we say we wish to understand the true meaning of the Buddha's teaching. In order to understand the true meaning of the Buddha's teaching, we need to perceive the Buddha's teaching. We need to not just listen, we need to think about it. We need to apply it using the three modes of wisdom. So perceiving has a sense of using all three modes of wisdom. Now let us ask us a question. Have I ever misinterpreted somebody's words? That somebody could be your friend, could be your parents, could be your children, could be your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, somebody close to you. Even though you care a lot about each other, sometimes you get into arguments, you fight. And then in the end, you guys figure out, oh, it was from a misunderstanding. So a lot of times we hear, but we don't listen. There's a words from a song, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening. Those of you who are of similar ages, Shifu, will know where that song is come from. So people hearing without listening. Do you see that happening around you? Do you do that yourself? I know I have done it many times before. So even from the name of the Bodhisattva, we already learned something. Let us try to use our mind to listen carefully what people around us are telling us, what they say to us, instead of just hearing without full attention. There's a experience that made a very deep impression on me. That was when, before Jianhu Shifu was ordained as a monk, when I first met my Shifu, my teacher, Master Weijie, Grandmaster Weijie, that was in Los Angeles. He was there to give some Dharma talks, and we were fortunate enough to have a opportunity to do a small group question and answer with the Grandmaster. And I asked the Master a question. Can you teach us how to meditate? At that time, I had no idea how to meditate. So the Master took about half an hour to explain a basic meditation technique to us called breath counting. Now, during that conversation, I experienced for the first time that somebody paying 100% attention to you. I feel that when the Grandmaster was talking to me, he was paying 100% attention to what my reactions were, whether I understood what he was saying, what questions I asked. He was perceiving my question instead of just hearing my question. He was not answering me in a standard way. This is how you do this and this and this. He was answering. He was talking to me in a way that is exactly what I needed. He was trying to talk in a way, explain in a way that I and a few others at the table can fully grasp. what he was trying to say. So let us think about this. Can we do that? Well, we can certainly learn to perceive what other people are trying to say to us. So because the Bodhisattva perceives it, the Bodhisattva may be able to understand the person's real needs. Sometimes the person may cry for help and ask for something. But actually, the person may not even know what is truly best for himself. So when you penetrate into that person's situation and understand what he truly needs, you may be able to give him something, even though he didn't ask for it. Maybe he didn't even think he wanted that, but it is what he needed. And I experienced that from learning with the Grandmaster. Sometimes we would think we want something, and the Grandmaster will give us something else. And then only much later, maybe a few years later, do we realize, oh, actually looking back, that is what I needed. That is from deep perception. A second translation of the meaning of Avalokiteshvara is 观自在, or one who meditates on freedom. One who meditates on what is true freedom, or how to be truly free. 观自在. So in this name, we can also learn something important. One who contemplates, one who meditates on what is to be truly free. We all talk about freedom. Everybody likes freedom. But have we thought about what freedom actually means? Is it possible that somebody has too much freedom? Is it possible to ask for some freedom that eventually will hurt you in the end? Is it possible to have unlimited freedom? Or does freedom has to be restrained? For example, in the United States, we commonly think, many people think, oh, this is a free country, we have the most freedom in America. But if we think about it, America has laws. It has its constitution. Without a constitution that guard us, guard our behavior, what a person can do or cannot do, how can we enjoy the freedom while living here? So it is important that we actually think about this. What is it that we really want? What is it that we really want? We want happiness. So we think about what is happiness. We should meditate on it. We want freedom. We should meditate on freedom. So the Bodhisattva has deeply meditated and understood what it means to be truly free. And that is why the Bodhisattva is able to offer us the actual solution, the actual, useful, practical insight that can help us to go from dukkha to sukha. So these are the two meanings of the word Avalokiteshvara. And here are some pictures of the statue of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. Of course, probably nobody knows what a Bodhisattva actually looks like. Here's a picture of the Bodhisattva in Indian culture, and here is an example of the Bodhisattva in a Chinese culture. Now you can see that there's a big difference. The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara statue or painting in the Indian culture is a man. And in the Chinese culture, he is a woman. So that's curious. So is the Bodhisattva a man or a woman? Well, that is actually not an important question. Or the real answer is that the Bodhisattva has transcended gender. We'll explain what that means to transcend the gender. But for now, let's think of it as a concept. Somebody who devotes their life to practicing wisdom, prajna wisdom, who understands true freedom and offers that insight to guide other living beings. That is the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. The Bodhisattva actively perceives the real needs of people and give them the kind of help that can truly benefit them. The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara has also a few mantras associated with him. One of the most well-known mantra is the 6-syllable mantra of great clarity. It is Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Some people have already heard this before. For mantra, we do not try to explain what these words mean, what these sounds mean. We simply just chant it. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, with clarity of mind and concentration. So let me take a few moments to explain briefly what a mantra is. A mantra is a sequence of sound. Of course, they have meaning. These words have meaning in Indian language, but that is not what we focus on. So you can practice mantra chanting without knowing what the words mean. And the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara has a few mantras associated with him. One is called Guanyin Spiritual Dharani. Om Mani Padme Hum Maganiyana Jiruta Pada Jidashana Vidalika Saravata Pulishitaka Napanana Napuli Tyotapana Nabaloji Solaya Soha. That is also a relatively short mantra. Another one, which is quite a bit longer, is called the Great Compassion Dharani. Dharani is not a name for mantra. And it is supposed to have a power of healing. So I have heard stories of Buddhist disciples who chants the Great Compassion Dharani 100,000 times, and then somehow that person is able to use it to heal other people. So mantras usually have a lot of benefits associated with them. And so there's the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. And in the Heart Sutra, there's also a mantra. I would just call it the Heart Sutra mantra. That occurs at the end of the sutra. It's called Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. So a mantra means originally, or Dharani, it means like something that contains a lot of meaning. It's like abbreviation that contains a lot of meaning. So in a way, the Heart Sutra itself, it is a mantra. It is condensed version of the vast Prajna Paramita literature. So once you understand the teaching, you can condense it in a form so that you can quickly recall it, quickly remember it. That's what a mantra is for originally. Okay. But also, chanting a mantra can help calm our mind. So if you are feeling anxious, feeling confused, if you're waiting for something, waiting for somebody, and you are restless, you can chant Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, or you can chant the Heart Sutra mantra, Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhisattva, Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate, Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate, Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate. Now when you chant it with mindfulness. Your mind stays in the present. You don't try to rush it. You just chant it repeatedly. This repeated chanting can calm our mind. So it can be helpful when we are feeling anxious or stressed. So this is a brief introduction to the person, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. Let us close our eyes and review what Shifu has said in this teaching. Bodhisattva. What is Bodhi? What is Sattva? What are the two possible interpretations of Bodhisattva? Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. The name Avalokiteshvara also has two possible meanings. What are they? What is the first one? With the first meaning, we talked about perceiving others in order to gain a deeper understanding of what other person is saying or what other person needs. It is part of the building block of compassion to truthfully perceive what the other person is conveying. It is a building block of compassion because we misinterpret what they need. We can try to help, but then end up causing some trouble. So the first meaning of Avalokiteshvara is already giving us a teaching that we can use in our life. What is the second meaning of Avalokiteshvara? Why is that important? What is it that I want ultimately? And have I contemplated on it? Do I understand the real nature of what I want? Do I set my goals wisely? Or do I just simply follow what other people is doing? Do I actually understand what I'm pursuing? What is true freedom? Even though Shifu have not given you an answer, that's fine. Think about it. And finally, what is a mantra? Why is a mantra useful? Mantra is a condensation of a teaching. So when you understand something, can you condense it into a form where you can remember, recall, and maybe even apply quickly. So it's a device to help us learn.